Okay, you know what? I just won't be named something spectacular. It's fine.
Huh. But we're already live. And then we'll have to say, welcome everybody. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever you're having. We hope you're having a fantastic one. We are back with Age of Wonders 4 again. Success.
Success indeed.
Um, I think I have this, right? Right? Yeah? Oh, doesn't work on fractured infestations. Oh, fun. Well, that's a thing.
Oh, a calamity is about to happen.
Good job.
Our cataclysms are about to happen. So, any spell can backfire,
Any.
including enchantment spells.
Any.
Are you saying I can enchant my people with fire damage and make them lose damage?
I'm not sure what the effect would be, but yes.
Okay.
Are you excited? Hmm?
I'm learning.
Is that the same as excited? Okay. Cataclysm has struck. Okay. Sounds like someone else's problem, not mine.
I don't know. It seems like that problem may be causing world devastation effects.
We don't care about it in reality. Why should I care about it in a game?
Oh, there's that makes sense, I guess.
I mean, am I wrong? No?
No, I think that's the sad part about it.
You're all. No, you're not wrong. Sadly, not wrong. Okay. Let's go kill this thing.
I return.
Welcome. We're exploring the new behaviors.
Oh, it's
I'm not
so
against them yet.
cool. So interesting. They changed the things, you know? They
Really?
changed so many of the things.
Well, yeah. I uh I'll be honest, Sean. I'm not a
Sure.
huge fan.
You don't like how they changed movement so that movement's easier for everybody now? You don't like it?
Well, so the quality of life stuff is great. I mean, sure. Who doesn't like quality of life stuff, right?
Sure.
Now so they came with a race. There's a new race in this
Did.
called the Nomads.
Yes, they did. And they can move their hometown around.
Yeah, so tell me why I
Or
want
any other towns, really.
tell me why I want to do that.
Because you get to steal all the resources from a spot and then move to another spot and steal all their resources and they give you permanent buffs. That's why.
But why not just build my city?
What if you're a chosen destroyer? And
Right.
That's what I said.
or even better, what if you have astral the cataclysm happens and all your land gets destroyed, then you have to move somewhere else.
Okay. That's true. But here's the balance thing. So they can't make that so dangerous as to cripple someone
I feel like it's more RNG based though.
because
It's very RNG. Sure.
only this race can move.
Right. So you don't want to make it so that one race feels like they're automatically better because they can move and others can't move.
Correct.
Right.
So they had to balance that, which is what I was. So when the very first fight I did with these people, I told Tristan, I said, these guys are terrible. They're not doing any damage. It's like they're just paper people. And then I read the little looted thing, and it made so much more sense. So,
looted power. Yeah.
Yep. So
Sure.
they had to, in order to balance things out, they would have to make the base units just weaker than everybody else base units. Because
Right.
if you get a bunch of looted power, you're going to need to get a couple just to be on equal, and then you can get some to make you more powerful. But your default setting's going to have to be lower power.
Right. Otherwise, it's imbalanced.
Right. So, yeah. So I was in fact, just before you got out, I was telling Tristan that these all feel like just mechanics to say, for the designers to say, look, we made different things, right? Things have changed in the game. They don't feel, I don't know, they don't feel like the game. They just feel like stuff that was added on just to say we added stuff on.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, sure, but I mean, what do you think about the new? I mean, the tomes are interesting because they kind of line up with the power thing you were talking about.
So I've got the first tome that you can the new tier 1 tome, right? I have that, and it's fine. It's not. So they've kind of caused a problem for themselves. I don't think that they can go too far outside what the engine was built to allow. So they're stuck with basically recycling the same mechanics and trying to do that in new and exciting ways.
Sure.
So, yeah. So I feel actually a little bad for the designers. Because I'm sure the studio's saying, okay, we need to get more DLC, we need to get more stuff. But there's only so much blood you can squeeze from that stone.
That's true. True, very true.
If you don't so they have a custom engine, they have a custom engine. So depending on how it was designed, I mean, adding new mechanics may or may not be an option. So I understand that the studio wants to make more money from DLCs because DLC takes a lot less time to develop and make and build and blah blah blah. It's faster turn on investment. And generally speaking, if you have a somewhat popular game, it makes a lot more sense just from a financial point of view. I get it. It's cool. But yeah, at this point, I feel bad for the designers because they're trying to, how do we, rehash these 10 or 15 mechanics into something that feels new to the players, but they're really just the same mechanics with a shiny coat of paint. Really, that's what it is.
Sure. Oh, but what did you think? So, speaking of changes, of actual big changes, what do you think about the change with the damage types, the resistance versus defense? Did you see about that change?
I did. I think it doesn't make sense to put it in that type of stuff into DLC.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but it made it into the base game. That's one of the, like, they always do the base game plus like another thing, right?
Right, but my point is, this should have been in the game like from day one. If you're going to do stuff like this, and they've been doing this a lot. We've actually talked about that. They've, with their, I want to say the DLC for the past maybe year and a half, maybe 2 years even. Starting with Giants, where, and you guys can correct me, it might have been before Giants, but I remember there was a DLC that just kind of changed the game, like at a fundamental level. I think it was Giants. And they've been doing that since. They've been trying to shoehorn in big structure changes. Like, if I bought the game when it first came out and I played the game now, these are not the same game at all. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, yes, they certainly have. But I mean, my question would be, if it weren't in DLC, I mean, there's two aspects to it, right? They're kind of pairing their DLC along with things that are also big changes to the actual game.
Right, to the base game.
Right. But I think they kind of, I mean, in some ways you kind of, I mean, it depends on what kind of game you want, right? There's a kind of game that is just the idea that this game is done as soon as we release it, and that's the only game that it will ever be. Which comes back to what you were saying, which is, well, this type of change should have been in the original game because it changes the game so much.
Right.
But which is not, I'm not saying it's incorrect. I'm saying it's a certain way of thinking about the game, or our game as a whole, any game as a whole.
Right, agreed.
And so, yeah, so the question is, if this change should, because I think that they put themselves in this box of this type of change that has to be made because of what the DLCs do to the base game, right? They change it in some ways, hopefully all relatively positive ways for the overall game, but it changes some of how the base game needs to be in order for those to be kind of relevant, right?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Because you can certainly change everything within your box and not mess with things, but that's not the path that I think that they're on with this game. And I think a lot of games, for better or for worse, a lot of games these days are like that. They're like, this is the game that keeps living and keeps changing because we want to sell DLC or whatever for people to play, right?
Yeah, and That makes sense. So I guess it is a testament to the engine, their little custom engine, that they are able to do that. So I mean that's
Right, because otherwise you would just change the game and then it would be a different game, and so you'd have to you go on to the next game, right?
right. So yeah, I can see that.
But you're right, it's totally changing the game, like for sure. It's absolutely changing the game. And that may not, I mean, it's up to each person whether that's a good change or a not good change, right?
Right, a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Is this change good or bad?
Well, and even the introduction of the whole, I mean, it's because that's what's kind of funny is because the change of the defense and the resistance thing almost necessitated them to do the other thing that they did, which was make this whole thing with like a magic spider, right?
Right.
Because if you're going to change how people's damage works, then you should probably make it so that some things kind of make that change more obvious or even more relevant, right?
Well, you would have to emphasize it. You don't have a choice.
Right, which is the whole point of a magic fighter. Like, if we have resistance now, well then there can't just be spells that make up the difference of that damage type. We have to make it so that other people can, other type of units can also apply that damage type. Otherwise, it's less relevant for some people, which seems, like you said, it seems unfair to do that.
Right. You have to balance it out.
Right, exactly.
Agreed.
And I'm still not really sure. I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling that whether planned for or not, I think that this system is going to have to be tweaked. I mean, it was already tweaked, honestly, in a few subtle ways. The very first patch that they came out with, which came out after the first patch after the actual drop of the update, they did change some things because they kind of had to.
Oh, they've been tweaking this entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
And yes,
which is no surprise, right? It's pretty much exactly what we thought what we should have thought was going to happen. We knew it was going to happen.
Well, it has to, right? You can't. No matter what kind of testing you have, you can't run the millions of permutations. I'm sure that they were given probably a month, maybe 2 months to figure it out.
Yeah. But also, especially across all the different variations of this particular type of the impact that this had, right, and all the different ways that this system works, right?
Yeah.
Their whole mechanics is what I mean.
Right. I'm going to abort this. You are too far away, sir. I have to move my armies back because apparently I just got a infestation right next to my capital. Thanks, Crystal people, for that. That's awful something of you.
something.
Right. That was a thing that you did. So, thanks for that.
Grumble.
Right. It's not like I have my armies on the other side of the world or anything. That's cool. Oh, I met another person. Hooray. Go me.
Oh, I have a shop. Yeah,
Shop
sure.
came to visit you.
It did.
Exciting for you.
I want a shop. Oh, the spell backfired. How exciting.
Is that exciting? Is that the word?
Is that the word we want to use?
It's
Hold on,
up,
I'll be
up,
BRB.
BRB. It is a word.
Oh, we're almost to Calamity 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're moving up in the world just fine, I see.
Where is this? Oh. Where is Yeah, yeah. Pretty soon we're gonna not be able to use magic at all. It'll be great.
I don't assume as. Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello there. You know, I think that I like you. We should be a bestest friend. We should do that. And we should do that. And we should do that. And we should do that. We should do those things. We should do that too. Yay!
I return. It is the mother that called, so that's why I was doing
Well, welcome to the returning.
that. The mother said hi.
Why, hello, mother.
Oh yeah, let me switch back over. I'm watching you guys. So what? So you say you have no interest, but no. Back to what we were talking about before. Tristan's right. I mean, Chosen Destroyer is just an obvious choice for the nomads, correct?
Well, but it's almost the only choice. Almost. Because your little
Well,
gimmick
no,
of
I
moving
mean-
around doesn't really.
Like, well, yeah, it's not interesting to you, right?
Oh, sure. Sure. I will.
And I'm not saying it's interesting to me. Even I'm just saying it is another way to play the game, right?
It is. It is another way to play the game. Did you notice they? I don't know if I want to say nerfed.
Changed.
Yeah.
They changed the thing.
Chain, yeah. So I don't know if you noticed this. So normally you do Call of Chaos, right? You go to an infestation, you get a critter or something, and we've talked about this one before because they nerfed it before. In the past, if you went to a bronze infestation, you would get kind of a jank, whatever the random dude was, it would be kind of jank. But if you went to a silver or a gold, then the random would be scaled to whatever, right? So if you went to a gold infestation and won, the unit that you got would be actually quite useful. And then they changed that so that when they did the rebalance, so that the infestations were just whatever. You can have a gold infestation that's like a power of 200, and you can have a bronze infestation that's like a 1200.
Yes.
When they did that, they also changed what kind of critters you could get out of them, which just seems to be completely random at this point. There's no rhyme nor reason to it at this point. But the comedy, for me anyway, is now. So now they have what are called fractured infestations. So like this.
Yes,
one here.
they do.
And fractured infestations don't give any unit. So if you go defeat them, Okay. You've defeated them. Good job. Would you like a cookie?
Yes.
Just,
I view it as good because there are some of the like inspirations or the goals that your people can have to hunt down infestations. If they manage to all go extinct, or the hoarder tradition where when you kill a thing, you just get more things for it. It doesn't necessarily have to go off of the traditional infestation gathering.
oh,
Right.
sure.
Well, and that brings up another thing. Speaking of infestations, because one of the things that they also changed, which I actually like this change, is the auto experience, right?
Yeah.
So now instead of earning, I mean, you do earn XP from like defeating stuff, but it's way less than it used to be, and now there's just a baseline XP that you earn.
Right. Just for living, your living. Good job.
Yes. Although they also, I mean, one of the reasons I like it is because they made it so that it makes like walls, like, so now if you guys just, so before when they hung out in your town, they would just hang out and do nothing and become nothing.
Right.
But now, like the walls earn you XP, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that, but walls earn XP now. So for anyone that's in the city that's just camping out and defending, they now don't get left behind because they get XP for just being there.
So depending on the race that you had, you already did that. But I understand that wasn't a balanced thing. So, for example, champions would just do that. They would just get experience. In fact, I was complaining to one or both of you a while ago that it didn't double. So there are combinations that you could get where you would get bonus experience from the champion and then just experience from the unit itself. But they didn't overlap. You didn't stack. It was, yeah. But I guess.
Oh, it was like the higher of whichever.
Yes.
That's how it worked.
Yep. So I haven't checked to see what they've done with that. But I get it. It's all in the name of the balancing and blah, 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 blah.
Right. Well, I mean, so kind of going to what Tristan was saying about the infestations, though, is one of the drawbacks to being like to not having a system where you just get XP across the board is that the people that go out and hunt down the infestations automatically have an up on people that don't do that, because there will come a time when there will not be as many infestations, and the people who weren't out defeating them will be at a loss to those who weren't doing that.
That's true.
So, I mean, so now it's twofold. So the things like the Cataclysm can now create infestations, even though there was also a mechanic, already in place where that could be done. But now it's just something that is just on top of whatever else you could have happened. Because, there were like the different events and stuff where you could, like the Toll of Seasons, for example, where you could create situations for an enemy to have to deal with where they could also get experience.
Right.
But it's just another way of doing that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's the same, 5 mechanics or 10 mechanics or whatever. Just in just packaged and given in different forms.
Right.
So, yeah.
But I mean, so depending on how long you go, and depending on obviously your setup like champions and whatnot. I think it's like some of the ambitions are a lot easier now with the likelihood of you like running around with like legendary units is not so far fetched now. You know.
Yeah, the heck happened here?
Nothing good.
Yeah. Agreed.